know if you know this, but your hair moved from the back of your head to the side of your head. Just wanted to let you know. There you go. Yariv, nice to see you. Brahmi, Michael, Jackie, George from the Void, Deepak. Well, cool. All right, let's see who else is showing up. We got Matthew. Matthew's an old timer from the cult. Yeah. We got Matthew from the original cult. We got Robert. We got Dennis. Kaiser. Kaiser is he's in the probation period of the cult.
Uh,
He's in the cult. He's not in the cult. He's in the cult. Today may be the big night, the big decision. We got Keith. Keith, what have you been doing? Where have you been lately? I have questions for you.
well, I have answers, so that's a good coincidence.
All right, good. Put the answers in writing and send them to me.
Okay, and then you send me the questions afterwards.
Yeah, there won't be any questions. I just want the answers.
Ah,
All right,
okay.
well, let's
Jeopardy.
we'll start, hey?
Jeffrey style.
Oh, there's the Bopsy twins have reunited once again. Nick and Mike there. Yeah, that's good. All's well, Nick?
Yes.
Yeah, good. All
How am
right.
I?
So, what happened last week? Did we ever do the Course in Miracles? We did do it, yes?
Last week there was a bomb.
We got this. We got this bomb, the Zoom bomb last week.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, was it? Did we ever get
Oh,
through the Course
two
in
sessions ago.
Miracles that night? Did we get through that?
Not really.
I just want to read a little bit about it again.
Okay, I'm going to mute all first, and then
Oh
hopefully.
yeah.
And then hopefully we need to unmute you specifically if you want to talk. So we're going to try that. Okay, muting all, and then unmute yourself.
All right.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, again, I think we tried to do it 2 weeks ago. Was that when we got bombed? Then, right? Yeah. I just want to repeat one sentence out of it. Tell you the truth, because I want to hear it really. I think it's on page 468 in the Inner Light Foundation Course in Miracles. Bottom of 468. He's talking about selfing, basically. Yes. And if you don't know what I mean by selfing, selfing is the mental activity backed by the mental processes that is constantly implying that we're a thing, a doer, a thinker, a feeler, a seer, a hearer, and a taster. And there is no self, basically, but the selfing, if listened to, there's something that gets implied, sort of as us and by us, and then suddenly the verb has. There's been a. It's a weird thing. It's almost like a transformation that never happens. The verb somehow sort of takes itself to be a noun. Yeah, and now the noun gives all meaning and all direction to all the other verbing that it comes in contact with. All the while, just another aspect of verbing to begin with. But yeah, so this whole riff we were doing is a Course in Miracles sort of negation of that imaginary activity that implies we're the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the one, and that all that claiming is represented as a body. Yeah. So when there's a feeling of being the thinker, it's held and pictured as a body. When there's a feeling of being the seer, it's held and pictured as a body. So he goes into this huge riff, and there's a couple. I'm gonna just do it again. So he goes, we have heard a very similar description earlier, but it was not of you. So this is the whole direction in my sense of non-duality. It's describing what we're not, because a lot of people have heard it said that what we are is indescribable, incomprehensible, impossible to know. So then, why are we trying to do all that? It just doesn't make any sense. If you hear that it's indescribable from someone you respect, then maybe you should take it to heart. Well, then why am I going to talks where people keep describing the indescribable? I much rather, because the real knowledge isn't about what we are, it's about what we're not. Yeah. When we have knowledge about what we're not, we'll find out what we've always been. Yeah, we'll find it out. It will seem as if it happened, but when it happens, it basically says it's always happened. Yeah, so it didn't. The happening negates itself immediately when you land on the fact that it's always been this way. Yes, that nothing ever really happened to disrupt or disturb or to disconnect or to pause or to stop or to start anything. We are that. Yeah. So this whole paragraph or two in the course has that direction. It says, all right, we've heard a very similar description earlier, so we could go back to the last 5 months of Zooms, let's say, on Wednesday and Saturdays. Let's just put it that way. And we're going to say, hey, those 5 months of Wednesdays and Saturdays, we've heard a very similar description, but it was not of you. And it's going to be the same direction tonight. So the description 4 months ago was not of you, and the description hopefully tonight is it's not of you. Yeah, the message isn't about you; it's about what you're not. Yes, so that why is that? Because if what you are has seemingly taken itself to be something else, hearing about itself all day, hearing and listening to descriptions about the indescribable isn't going to help the indescribable, because all of those descriptions of what we are is being held and claimed and heard, quote unquote, by what we're not. That's the whole point of having knowledge of what you're not, because there's a whole lot of knowledge being claimed by what you're not about what you are. And it's not going anywhere. It's not really going anywhere. It goes a lot of places, but it doesn't, it just doesn't click. Yeah. So the whole point of these descriptions is that it's not of us. Yeah. Just to be clear. And this is just talking about the next paragraph or two, but it describes the last 5 months. It's the last 15 years of Zen bitch slap. Basically, it's been a description of not of us. Yeah, it's been a description of something else. Why is that important? Because us and that something else have sort of been mixed up. Yeah, and to the point where we're starting from the something else to look for us. Yeah, which is insane if we are the us. Yeah, to use the us to look for the us is a denial of the us. That's as simple as that. Yeah. So here he goes. He goes, but still, this strange idea, which it does accurately describe, you think is you. I would say, yeah, the last 5 months, I hope, at least in the vicinity of accurately described this strange idea. Yeah. Selfing, its modus operandi, which is claiming that which comes after is implied to be before. Yeah. And in that sense of being implied to be before, the before now becomes something that comes after that we look for. Yeah. We've described this for 5 months, more, many, many years. So But still, this strange idea, which it does accurately describe, you think is you. So we're not going to try to think it's not you. Yeah, we're not going to go with the thinking, so to speak. We're going to go look at the thinker. Yeah, yeah, because the thinker is what makes things so. The thinking is used to make things so, but the real clincher is the thinker. Yeah. So we're going to look at the thinker. Yeah. So, see, you, if you see it's not you, thinking is you, yeah, that's fine and dandy. Yeah. You don't have to get into the mechanics because getting into it reinforces that it's real in a sense. You just see there's a thinking of you, and then that's implied that it was you thinking. Yeah. So reason would tell you. They use this term a lot in the course. I'm not a big lover of the word reason. But let's say wisdom. Wisdom would tell you that the world you see through eyes that are not yours. No one's confused with that, are they? English wise. No one's confused with that. He's describing eyes, the two, yeah, that see a world. So you're seeing a world through eyes that are not yours. Wait a minute. So these are, I thought they were Paul's. Are they Stanley's? No. Not yours meaning not yours, period. All of us, not ours. Not because I misplaced it with, Amelia. No, none of them are mine. Yeah. So the eyes are of let's say, like Jesus says, you're in this world. So the eyes that look upon the world are eyes that are in this world. Yet we're not, our vision is not of this world. Yeah. Our vision is not of this world. The eyes, what we call vision of the eyes, are in this world, but our vision is not of this world. Yeah. The awareness, yes? Yeah. All right, so reason would tell you that the world you see through eyes that are not yours must make no sense to you. Yeah. Why is there so much mental gymnastics to make something that doesn't make any sense to you? Because it makes a lot of sense to you. Yeah. See, the information that's being collated and delivered is going to its target is you. Yeah. So it makes total sense to reinforce the you. Does it make sense that there's 70,000 thoughts a day? Does it really? Let's say, I was a house painter. Did I need 70,000 thoughts a day to navigate a day painting a house? Pretty much you could expect there was be 4 walls, a ceiling, some trim. You weren't going to be surprised that often, yeah? I had to think, yeah, there's paint I need. I got that. Brushes, clean, yes. Maybe where to go to lunch. So let's say maybe I need 25 thoughts that day. What are the 69,975 other thoughts doing? They must have a purpose somehow. Yeah. I would say they're reinforcing what we're not, basically, because for what we are to seemingly take that which is being presented to it as us is a lot of fucking work. Yeah. 69,000 thoughts. So, reason would tell you that the world you see through eyes that are not yours must make no sense to you. So, this is a simple question. To whom, let's look at each square. To whom would seeing such as this send back its messages? He doesn't let us answer, thank God, He goes, surely not you. Yeah. What? So the message that's being delivered by all the yapping is going to the wrong address. Yeah, it's like going. It's not landing. It's going somewhere else. But that someone else, somewhere else, I'm taking to be me. Yeah. So, to whom would seeing such as this send back his messages? Surely not you, whose sight is wholly independent of the eyes that look upon the world. Yeah. So basically, we are receiving and tons of stuff are coming into us, not through the eyes that see this world, but through awareness, through presence. Yes, information downloads are coming through a different chute we may not even be aware of. In recovery, they call the unsuspecting inner resource. Yeah, maybe all the mail we're reading would be called junk mail, and the real communication is going on unbeknownst to us, in a sense. Like when you actually hear the message, not as the hearer of the message, but as the hearing. Man, that's a hit. Yeah. All right, so then it gets pretty cool here. If this is not your vision, so if, let's say, if this is not your interpretation, if this is not your narration, if this is not all about you, what can all of that show you? It's not about you. Yeah? That's the value. Yeah? We've been we've been looking in the wrong way. We want to find out about ourselves. Yeah? No, it's much, much clearer to find out about what you're not. Yeah? That's the whole point. Yeah? There's no need for knowledge of what you are. You are that. Yeah? You need to have knowledge of what you're not, so that that constant mechanical implying there's a one can be seen through. Yeah. So surely not use. All right, here it is. If this is not your vision, what can it show to you? It's not your vision. The brain cannot interpret what your vision sees. Yeah. So if you're thinking you're gonna get clarity and the truth from the station K-Paul, forget about it. Yeah. The brain cannot interpret what your vision sees. It interprets the eye, the information. It cannot interpret the vision, the awareness. Yeah. This you would understand. The brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. It's just that freaking simple. Yeah. The system interprets everything to the system to support the system. Like Einstein said, you can't use what produced the problem to arrive at a solution. Yeah. You can't get a solution to the problem of the system as or from the system. It's just simple. Yeah. So this is one of the most important things, because this can put a lot of shit to rest. The brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. Yeah. It's not saying the brain leans towards interpreting everything to the body. It's basically saying the brain interprets to the body. Period. End of story. Yeah. Do you want to try to train it to do something else? It's not like a puppy that can be potty trained. It's going to keep shitting the same way. All right, so all right. But what it says you cannot understand. Yeah, I cannot understand. I'm sitting here tonight and my head is obsessing over next week and the dismal condition I'm going to be in financially, circumstantially, physically, emotionally, relationship wise. Even though the condition about all those things are pretty good right now, in the world of the head, which isn't happening, I'm in dire straits. I don't have time to fucking talk to these squares tonight. I gotta start fucking, I gotta get myself out of this imaginary hole. You don't see that as the bigger hole? You don't see the fear of a future hole as the bigger hole? You don't see it? I mean, if you don't see it, you're taking the information from the failed system. It's that simple. We're relying on something that's not reliable. When you start relying on that which is reliable, which is vision, which is awareness, it's quite obvious what's not happening is not happening. You don't need 4 years of philosophy. It's not happening. Next Tuesday's not bleeding into tonight. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It's right around the corner, coming out of the closet. No. Yeah. It has to be beckoned here by us. Yes? And who or what is that us that is beckoning it? Is it you? Is it you that's beckoning it? I completely doubt that, to tell you the truth. Yeah? It's what you're not. What you're not can only arrive at being you by memories that it was you and future remembering of you, which is concern and worry usually, that you're gonna be you. Yeah? The I am doesn't have an emblem on it. It isn't I am Paul, I am Nick, I am Mike. It's I am. Yeah? The mental state goes, I was Paul, definitely. I will be Paul, or why the hell would I be fucking so worried about him? And therefore I am Paul now. It arrives at a conclusion. It's not at the conclusion. It's manufactured. And we are prior to all the mental conclusions. Our nature is already concluded. We are being it, yes? It's not in a process. It's not in a methodology that is going to finally arrive. It doesn't arrive. It doesn't go. Yeah? It just is. But that isness trumps all the wasness and all the willness. Yeah? All right, so here, I'm losing the page. There we go. This is one of my favorite parts. All right, you have not realized it is impossible to understand what fails entirely to reach you. Then he goes here. Think then what happens. So I'm just humbly saying, this is a pretty good X-ray, yeah, of the mental condition. Very good X-ray. Denying what you are and firm in faith that you are something else. Let's switch this and say, firm in faith that you are something else is the denial of what you are. I'd like to put it that way. It's clearer to me, yeah? So firm in faith we are something else is the denial of what we are, yeah? So in a weird way, when from there, being completely in faith in what we're not, we want to start believing that there is something called what we are, again, is reverse faith in what you're not. So the message is never to or for what you're not. We're not attempting to make it clearer to what you're not. We're trying to bypass what you're not, get the message through what you're not to what you are, because I can't miss what you are. In what you are, there's no mail slot. There's no, oh, this is the time I receive messages, 8 through 9, after I've meditated for 3 hours. Or I've just done my yoga, now I'm open to fucking hearing this. No, it's all the freaking time. As Ramana says, it's always realized. Always realized. Yeah. So the art of the message is to get through you, not to you. To you. If people have been given this message, they've had to come to realize that it isn't as simple as they may have thought. All right, I pass the message on to the lion that it's a lion. Adios. No, you have to realize something happens, no matter how close you are to the other lion, that somehow the message, though rather direct, gets misinterpreted. Yeah? Now, how does it get misinterpreted? Well, the lion that doesn't seem to know it's a lion is definitely firm in faith that it's a sheep. Yeah? It doesn't even know it's in an active denial that it's a lion because, as the sheep, it has no idea. It's thinking it's sheep all the way. So it's not even, he doesn't even see the faith in being a sheep. It just thinks it's a sheep. It doesn't see the whole mechanics of it at all. It's just taking itself to be a sheep. Yeah. So now the lion person who is awake to being a lion speaks to that lion, aka sheep, and lays out and describes a lion, describes what a lion is. Lion is all it is consciousness. It's incredibly empty but huge and brilliant. And now the sheep, aka lion, likes a little bit of that message drips in and it gets like a resonance. Wow, or like a aha, which is muted in about 10 minutes. As soon as they leave the meeting, it's fucking neutered. It's dead because they start thinking about it as a sheep. Yes? So let's give up that purpose. It's not working to talk to you as what you are. Let's talk to you about what you're not. Please. Yeah. And hopefully, by recognizing that, you're going to find out what you've always been. It may seem like a sudden realization, but what you're realizing is always been realized. Yeah. Always. So to me, this is a very beautiful statement. And we shared the other day in recovery. I'm sharing this in a way not to get the words across, but to get a sense of it across. Because while I'm reading it, I feel it so fucking much. That's what I'm trying to communicate. I'm not trying to communicate the trick in words or the negative way. I'm trying to communicate the sense that this way and these recognitions allow to be dominant where I'm sitting. Yeah, that's what I'm attempting to get across. Yeah, it's a little more tougher with Zoom. I mean, live is a different animal, but what the hell, you know? My jurisdiction's over. I'm just putting it out there, yeah? Because tell you the truth, if I wasn't speaking it, I'd probably go to see someone speaking it because it's music to my ears, literally. I've been using this paragraph since I got introduced to it in like 2000 because it's music to my ears. When I say it, I hear it, yeah? I hear it. I hear it, and I see I see the splendidness of negation. I see the impeccability of negation. I see the perfection of negation. I feel it. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, from the first time I said it to the 800th time I've said it. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it again. Yeah, why not? You have not see. All right. Denying what you are and firm in faith that you are something else. Where is the faith exhibited? And where can you see the effects of faith? By the thoughts, yes? I'll use a simple example to show you faith. The thoughts about what's not happening through faith can produce effects now. You can feel as if you're destitute now by thinking you're going to be destitute next week. Yeah? That engine for that to occur is faith. Not your faith or my faith or a faith, faith. It's a force here. And the force of faith is going to manifest by the vehicle it's put in. So when we're affirming faith in the thought system and the narration, right? That's the active reinforcement of what we're not, and conversely, in duality, the denial of what we are. We don't thinking we're denying what we are. We're actually thinking we're talking to someone about us, about ourselves all day, and affirming what we are. But we're really affirming what we're not and denying what we are. It's that ass backwards, yeah. And it's only faith. Thoughts can't do it. And where the faith, you can tell the distribution of faith through the word my. Look at the difference between a word and then precede it with my. Tell me it isn't different. My there is faith. You're owning something. You're believing you're the doer of something. Gives it a whole lot of freaking meaning. Now you don't even know that's happening because you're not doing it. You're the effect of it. You're not the one. You're not doing faith in thoughts. There's faith in thoughts that imply the thinker. And it's in the owning of the thoughts. Once they become yours, you become theirs, so to speak. Once you own the thoughts can own you. That's faith. Yeah. Just because we don't know what's going on doesn't mean it's not going on. Yeah. We're like a little, I don't know, whatever. So it goes on, denying what you are and firm in faith that you are something else. This something else, this is so beautiful, really. This something else that you have made to be yourself becomes your sight. Yeah? So you abdicate. Yeah? You surrender. And now you lose the sense of living and you get an interpretation of it. Maybe out of a sense of hopeful security. Maybe you think if you know shit that you really don't know, it makes you feel more secure. I don't know why. Who cares? I just know it's happening. I don't care why it happens. I know it's happening. Yeah? This something else that you have made to be yourself becomes your sight. Yeah? It must be the something else. Oh, yeah, I gotta find the page I lost. It must be the something else that sees and as not you. Do you see it? The something else is now the one that sees. What would you call the one that sees? The seer, yes? Yes or no? If there was seeing, all right, they're seeing, and then the seeing implies the one that sees, what would that be named? The seer. Yeah? Do you think it only happens with the seeing? Feeling, the one that feels, the feeler. Yeah? Hearing, the one that hears, the hearer. Yes? It must be this something else that sees and hears and feels and tastes and touches, yeah, and as not you, explains its sight to you ad nauseum, like fucking unbelievable. Have you ever had a resentment that wasn't gone over? Have you really? Have you ever had a resentment? It just stood on its own. It's like a pile of shit, and the mental flies just keep going back, and they fucking lay eggs in there, and they grow other shit. Yeah, that's the my. Yeah. All right, so it must be the something else that sees and as not you. I can't believe how clear it is. Yeah, explains its sight to you all day. Why do you call it the narrative? Yeah, that's the mental sight. It's trying to convince you the way it sees things is the way you see things through identification as it. Literally. Your vision, your vision, your vision. Yeah, inherent being, awareness, whatever, that which is truly before all things, your vision would, of course, render this quite unnecessary. Yeah. Yet, if your eyes are closed and you have called upon this something else to lead you, asking it to explain to you the world it sees, you have no reason not to listen, nor to suspect that what it tells you is not true. Well, now you do. You've received the spiritual subpoena. You've been called to the court of vision. Yeah. You may evade the appointment, but then a bench warrant will be issued, and then you'll get a message. Your head is in the tiger's mouth. Yes, it's too late. Yeah, you heard it. Bammo. Here. Yet if your eyes are closed and you have called upon this thing to lead you, asking it to explain to you the world it sees, we have no reason not to listen. Now you do, nor to suspect that what it tells you is not true. Yeah. Well, that gig has been blown. Yeah. Yeah. We know it already. We know it beyond knowing it. We are not that. Yeah. The monicum of knowing you need to know to realize it's not that ain't much, really. It really isn't. So I hope all right, let's open up the gates, the squares.
Jackie, you want to go ahead? Oops.
Jackie?
Okay,
Oh,
I was
that's
trying to
that.
unmute myself. Hello, everyone. I get a chance to be with you guys. I'm so excited.
Oh, Jackie.
Anyway, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I had a couple of. I'm getting the drips. It's dripping. Paul, thank you so much. Like you said, if I keep coming, I'll get more. So when you say find out what we're not, but you say that a lot, do you mean look at like the resentments, the selfishness, the wanting to be to
No,
focus
Jackie,
on self?
because no, you've done that. We've done that quite a lot. It just reinforced the seer of it all. We're questioning the seer. We're not questioning resentment and selfishness. We're questioning who is it that's resentful and selfish. I don't believe there's anyone there.
This,
I don't. Yeah.
so when you say find out what we're not, you're talking about the self.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe that there's a self. I believe find out what you're not. Yeah. Let's leave it at that. I'm not saying what you're going to find, just find out what you're not.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not giving,
And then you speak of,
I'm not going to do a policeman's composite drawing because there's nothing there. It would
oh,
look just like you.
okay. There's, okay.
The
I
police,
think that was another drip right there. There was a drip.
yeah.
I felt a drip.
But the
Then you say,
drip is signifying there's a infinite amount of water there, so don't worry. Like they used to say, you can see the whole ocean in one drop. So there you go. It's sort of like that.
then you talk about uh, how do I make thoughts not my, okay, how do I make thoughts not my thoughts? You talk about, you know
You don't
how
have
when you
to. They're
put
not your
mind,
thoughts. You don't have to make them not your thoughts. They're not your thoughts.
They're just not my thought. They're just
Yeah,
thoughts.
they're not your thoughts. How could they have? How could they
Okay.
be your thoughts if a lot of people have them?
Right. Okay. Okay.
It's like you go to a beach and you think it's your beach, and then thousands of other people show up and start sitting on your beach. Obviously, it wasn't your beach.
Okay.
Listen to people share their thoughts. They sure sound like yours.
Right. Right. Right.
You can get a different language and shit like that, but
Yeah.
it's basically a stock streaming of. I would say that they're combined with algorithms. Yeah,
Then when you
I
say
see.
that you a parasite, you talk
No,
about
I
the
use the
parasite.
word parasitical. There's no parasite. I use it as an image to recognize a part of what you're calling you is not you, because that's sort of
Right.
how we find out what we are is by seeing what we're not. So I try to use imagery that allows you to start calling what you used to call you something else. Yeah, but there's no
Right.
parasite. It's like
So
it
when
has
you
a
talk about the
parasitical tune.
transportation,
What?
when you talk about in some of your videos that you, I guess you were talking about you being
Yeah, yeah,
used
that's the
as
recovery one. Yeah,
transportation.
yeah, that's the recovery ones. In the recovery ones, I embellish uh, what we're not a lot, so that
Oh,
you can see it. Yeah,
okay.
so I can use it.
Okay.
It's a parasite, a demonic possession, a fucking foreign
Okay.
pathogen,
Right.
a toxic something. Yeah, because people who've lived
Then at
under
the
it,
end of the,
real addicts,
uh,
people who like addicts and stuff,
right.
they have a sense, and other people have it too, but I've met more people with this sense of pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization through
Mhm.
recovery. Yeah. And the addict and stuff is an example of extreme obsession with what you're not. And so the
Right.
suffering they can sort of participate in is quite exquisite. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just turned to the higher part of yourself. You're dependent every moment on this higher power.
Well, in a way, there's no me to be dependent on it, but there's reliance in it. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was obvious, and this is going into the recovery aspect of it, you know? So the recovery takes
Oh,
this
so there's
world
two
somewhat
different
to be
things.
real. What?
Oh, there's two different programs you do.
Well, yeah,
Recovery.
this is non-duality. You can't tell me where one starts and the other stops, but yeah, this is a non-duality framing, and the Tuesdays and Thursdays are a recovery framing, which is
Oh,
we're
okay.
not starting at the point of non-duality. We're hopefully leading there or ending up there. So we're going,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay.
and it's more
All
directed at
right.
the action figure, where in the non-duality,
Oh,
uh, you know, where is
okay,
it
I get it now. Okay.
at? So it's just,
Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank
oh, you're
you.
welcome, buddy. Yeah, thank you. Keep coming back, hon. You can say that at both
I
talks.
will.
Keep coming back. The
Guys,
Bopsy twins. Hmm?
sorry, we were talking. Anybody else want to raise their hand? Fritz.
Fritz.
And then Sandra.
There
Yep.
he is.
Okay. Yes.
Fritz.
So So I'm not in the recovery segment, but I was wondering. I do know that in recovery, particularly like let's say AA, one of the things that happens is you have to claim, you have to say, "Hi, I'm whoever, and I'm an alcoholic."
You don't have to, but yeah, it's
It's
suggested.
standard
Yeah.
procedure. So at a certain point, does that actually sort of reinforce the self? Once you've gotten,
It can, but it doesn't have to. See, the the great meaning giver is what's before everything.
yeah,
So yes, if the mental state rushes in and uses you saying you're an alcoholic to reinforce that you're a person, yes, that could happen. But you could also see that, and it doesn't have an effect. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's with everything though. So this is the thing. See, if that wasn't true, then there would be some truth in non-dual Pharisees and shit. Yeah. I mean, the letter of the law would be true, but it isn't. It's what's before gives whatever meaning has after. So one person can say, I'm an alcoholic, and that is being used by the mental state to reinforce the identification. Another person can say it, and that culmination of the mechanicalness of the claiming will happen, but it won't produce any effect. Yeah?
yeah,
Because that which before is really the point. Yeah.
yeah. And I get because I have a buddy who's in AA, and we've talked a lot,
Yeah.
and particularly initially, I can see that's really important to identify what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And at a
Well, yeah,
certain,
because usually people who have alcoholism have been in a very strong denial of that fact. Yeah. So first you have to come around and then allow that to admit that it's true. And then if you stick with it, it will show that ultimately it's not true. Yeah. See, sometimes only two get presented. Oh, so you were denying that you were an alcoholic. Now you're admitting you're an alcoholic. There's another phase where it goes past there, and now you see you're not an alcoholic. It's not a denial, it's a clarity. You see it. Yeah.
got it.
That's not a standard presentation in the community, but it's there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
certainly an integral part of your message.
Yes, yes. Because as an action figure, I saw through observation that a lot of my life, the brain here was trying to make a lot of shit unreal, usually emotionally based. Yeah. Because things had happened and I had trauma, and then objects that I loved disappeared by dying suddenly. And I didn't, I must have gone, something must have happened. And so some strategies got hatched, and I'm just going to make a lot of shit unreal. Yeah. So that I don't have to feel it. And so what I realized when I came into sobriety is by me making all this shit unreal, I made them as real can be. I didn't know the power that was that's occurring while I'm taking it to be Paul. Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically, my denial of something affirmed that it was realer than I ever imagined. Yes. So then the AA process stopped that behavior. I let everything that I tried to make unreal catch up to me. It landed. I felt it. I felt like I'm a loser. I felt like I'm an asshole. I felt like this. I felt like I'm self-centered and have an sense of entitlement. I felt all that, and then I realized, and I'm not. Yeah, that isn't that third part of that little trinity isn't emphasized much, or I don't hear it in recovery. But that's been the experience I've had here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
in fact, it was never my
denial, I
word.
can't use, this is why you can't deny self as self. It doesn't work. You've watched it in non-duality community. People
Absolutely.
are trying to be a non-self as a self. It doesn't work. Yeah. So denial doesn't work. Negation works. So you first have to, begrudgingly or virtuously, it doesn't matter. There's got to be an acceptance of something, and then there's a negation. It can't go from denial, yeah, to denial. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to go through the process somehow.
That's how I see it as an action figure for sure. And I see a lot of people, and of course the mental state's always trying to find an advantage. So when it comes in contact with this message, like for people in recovery, they say, well, if there's no self, then there's no one to do the steps, so I don't have to fucking do this and ba ba ba, and then they're drunk in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Because
that's called
the
spiritual
denial,
bypassing, right?
doesn't work. What?
That's called spiritual bypassing, right?
Yes, the denial doesn't work. And I'm a big believer in spiritual bypassing, but through negation, not through denial. Denial, denial, the car's always going to speed up. You'll never be able to pass. Negation, you pass. Because you're not going in the same direction. The message of non-duality is disarming. I'm not motivated to seek and search and fucking work. I'm motivated to observe and gaze and just be here because I can't be anywhere else. Yeah. So I'm a true believer in spiritual bypassing.
No, what I was referring to is actually a different term, which means people use spiritual jargon, whatever, to bypass what's really in front of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's what I was talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
But anyway,
Definitely. Yeah, and part of that is obviously takes the form of denial. They may be calling it negation, but it's not because it's coming from the mental state. Yeah? The
yeah,
mental state doesn't negate, it denies. Yeah? Seeing is a negation. And a negation just means something that was assumed or taken to be so ain't. It's just clear seeing. Yeah? And
yeah,
it doesn't leave a mess. Yeah? There's not like unruly strings that are still dangling. It's just a negation is very clean to me. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right, thank you.
All right, Fritz. Nice to see you again. Yes.
Good to see you, man.
Yep.
Thanks, Fritz. Sanda, you're up.
Who's this?
Sanda.
Oh, Sanda from India or somewhere. Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, from India, from India. It
Oh,
was
there
so
you are.
much,
Yes.
yeah, it was, hello, it was so much rain, so I cannot be on the roof. Every, everything underwater. Yeah, I have a question. I heard you to say your identification with it. Paul, I cannot remember that I identified with that. With the thoughts, with the feelings. This your is uncomfortable to hear. As I told you, I cannot remember that I ever identified with something, but identification is there.
Yes. Well, obviously, you never identified with something, but identification with something is there. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So then, this is now a philosophic question. What really is hearing the message if hearing happens?
What's hearing the message is what we are. What
Yeah, but
says it's hearing the message is what we're not.
correct. And that's what we are. Does it need to hear the message in order to be?
No, of course not.
Yeah, but then what is truly hearing that? What is the agent through which transforms itself in order that hearing can happen,
Well, it doesn't transform itself.
or allows the hearing.
I don't know. I think some people would give it the term grace.
Grace, accordingly to Punjaji, is always, or to Ramana, is always there. So
Yeah.
grace, I would put it in the same box, and that what is beyond, what need not, what was never asleep, and therefore cannot be awakened. So then, when hearing is happening, this is my thought. I do not know is it true. That is the awareness, consciousness, which identifies. It was before like contracted, and now something happens, and it's opening itself. It can be only consciousness, the Shakti, not the Shiva, of course.
Well, I don't think it's opening itself because obviously it would imply that it could close itself, which it can't.
Yeah.
It just is. But the point is, it's sort of like while the dreaming is going on, that which is being dreamt seems real. When it stops or some interest moves from it, it's seen not to be real. Yes? And so
Yeah.
when it seemed not to be real, it just doesn't stay that. That which is now in the seeing that it's not to be real, there's a sense that what is real has always been this way. Yes? So
Yeah.
basically, like we talked about last week, if you dream at night, if there's dreaming at night and you're dreaming of like a 300-year epic, yes?
Mm.
And then the next night you dream of a 5-minute gulp of a milkshake.
Mm.
How long does it take to wake up from both of those? Exactly. So only in the dreaming time matters. Yeah?
Yeah.
In the relative state, awakeness, it doesn't. So this is the point. If something opens up to something now, what it's opening up to has always been this way. So really, nothing ever happened. So like Ramana says, it's always realized. In other words, it looks as if it wasn't, and then it opens up to that it is, but in fact, it's always realized. Because
Yes.
we're still looking in a way from the magic trick. Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
trying to
Yes.
understand things from the magic trick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the magic trick, the things that are relevant in the magic trick are only relevant in the magic trick.
Yeah.
They don't apply to the what we're speaking of, the absolute, or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. So we're trying to look at something with prescriptive glasses. There's a prescription in the glasses already that cause you never to be able to see what's seen. Yeah. So this is the point of the let's say unexplainable things in the magic trick. I would call grace. Yes, grace, because it's not of the magic trick. It's not of time. And so, how much did you miss something when you realize there was no one or there was never any time to miss it? So, yeah, you're only missing it until the moment you're not missing it. But in this state, the moment of not missing this is the only reality there was. It totally negates the missing or the longing or this and that, yeah? Because that's all of the magic trick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, again, that's what I told first time when I talked with you. That is what Ramana told. When it's meant to happen, will happen. When it's not meant to happen, will not happen.
Yeah, because it's always happening. So that's the
I-
point. I like the idea of, the old Zen thing. First there is the mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is the mountain. Now we're not
Mm.
going to change those first three statements. We're going to put one before it. First, there is no mountain. Then there's a mountain. Then there is no mountain. Then there's the mountain again. Putting the first one in, or having knowledge of that, allows you to travel later when the mountain's there or it ain't there. It's just, but when your condition is based on the mountain disappearing, it's going to be a drag when it appears again, which it's apt to do. So I don't believe in first there is the mountain. I believe first there is no mountain. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is, this is the snake bites itself in the tail somehow. There is no way out till it is, till it this what is unreal not disappears, is seen as unreal. Cannot disappear because it was never there, but it's like it's happening. And
well, the thing sometimes it's seen to be unreal, but you keep seeing it though. But now there's a loss of interest in it, or the interest has shifted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the mechanism of dreaming is still going on. You just see through it. It doesn't mean it doesn't. It stops. It's just seen as an activity. So if everything is happening but nothing ever happens, that's dreaming.
Yeah. The last one, which is actually, I wanted to start with that one first. It's about the body. And felt like the body is the cause of this identification with the body, and brain cannot comprehend that, what is beyond the brain. So far, so good, but the body wisdom of wisdom which drives this body, which makes that each cell has so much, I forgot which number of the chemical reactions in the second. This is one incredible intelligence behind which is running all these things. And I think in every body cells, in every brain cells, is this black hole. The body is, every cell is that. In it, that what cannot be spoken of. But something else used the body. This is my feeling. This is just what it used the body for using that for playing its game. It's like different software which is using the body, using the brain.
Well, yeah. For me, well, as Ramana says, the body is appearing in mind. So for me, the body represents a claiming. So how the claiming of doing is pictured is as a body. So the body is now held as the doer. As the body is held as the seer. The body is held. So the body for me represents something. And because vision is probably one of the most convincing of the senses, the vision, it's the perfect verification of separation and shit like that. Yes? So, but the real point is the claiming of activities to imply a one. And then the one is represented as the singular entity, the body. So that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, but I think the vision itself is neutral. Interpretation of it, is the problem.
Well, no. See, the vision, as the Course just said, is completely neutral. brain isn't interpreting the vision, it's interpreting how I see the brain. It's not interpreting vision. It's interpreting by being its interpretation is to disguise vision. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's replacing vision in a
yeah,
weird way with
yeah,
looking. So seeing
yeah.
would be awareness, looking would be the mental state. Yes? Yeah.
S- Yeah, looking, and that means how the nerves are connected. But this, how in the earlier age, when we are, uh, how we see the world is how the
Yeah.
nerves are connected with each other. So this first connection of the nerves, how they should connect, is for me, it must be some field information there for them how to connect. And this field information is prior to the physical body, uh, which commands them how to connect.
I don't know. I don't really care about anything like it.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
what I like is a lot of the engines of this life have stopped. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I like.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So,
yeah, so
sorry.
yeah, but the idea of vision and seeing, to see, I feel seeing claimed by the mental state is now represented as looking. Yeah, so that which is neutral has been claimed and is now being used in some circles to look for itself. So the looking is a blindness to that seeing. Yeah. So like Saint Francis says, what's looking is actually what's seeing. What's looking is what you're looking for. That looking for what's looking, actually the seeing, is the blindness to the seeing. Yeah. So you're using the seeing, which is a form of looking, to look for itself. And yet that's the biggest blindness. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're all right tonight?
Yeah, yeah, I'm all right tonight. It comes to my
We
mind.
can do this for hours when I come and visit you.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Would be good. Would be good.
Yeah, just give me some good food and yeah.
Yeah, I will try. I will try it. We have organic farms around. We are
Well,
really.
some mango lassies.
Oh, it's. I have mango trees in the garden.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we can talk forever. Honey, I'm gonna go to others now. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Senda. Clifford is up.
Clifford from Thailand. Clifford.
Can't hear you, Clifford.
No, not yet.
You see him?
He's unmuted. Maybe
Oh, there he's
mic's
still
not,
trying. Okay.
mic's not working.
No luck.
Maybe your headset, man.
Oh, he has a headset on, maybe.
Is it plugged all the way in?
Well, let's go back to him. All right, let's go to someone else and back to him.
Roll. He's saying cut. Anybody else want to raise their hand?
Come back to you. Yeah, yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for a second, I want to ask a quick one about because of the course. When it talks about, that, it can't explain your vision to you, and the course doesn't use examples, right? So that's why it can seem confusing. And so to use this example, I don't mean to put words in its mouth, but would you feel like it's okay to say, like, he can't explain peace to you? So we're looking for problems, and it can do that really well. It can make different things. but it can't explain peace. That has to be something, right? Would that be a
Yeah.
good example of what it can't do? Okay.
Serenity, stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah, that can equate with vision then. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And still no hands.
Hey, Clifford, can we hear you yet? Try to speak.
No.
It's too quiet.
He's
But,
in a fourth sense of
Julie has her hand up, so Clifford, you want to try by chat to put it in the chat?
from Robert French
And
General.
so for now, we'll roll on to Julie. Go ahead, Julie.
Still muted.
Yeah.
Just muted though.
All right.
Oh, here she comes. Yeah.
Just reporting today, I had this sense this week of, okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I just had this sense this week. There was a bit of a lot of despondency yesterday because I was reading some books, and then there was so many teachers actually disputing one another, and I just started to feel lost. And but there was also this feeling of being more self-reliant on my self-expression of just being, right? Like sort of like saying, just start trusting yourself
Yes.
and not worry about the different.
So just start trusting.
It's
So
not that I disagree with any teacher. That's the problem. It's like when I start to actually try to figure it out for myself, I get very confused. So anyway, but the good news was that I had this sense of being, and then I could see myself
honey,
lost.
let me just jump in there. Do you realize the confusion is part of it because you can't figure it out?
Okay.
The constant sense of confusion is sort of like a stop sign. It's telling you something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
The
that's what I
underlying.
felt. I just sort of got myself off that. I just started to let that go, right? Which
Yeah.
is hard for me because this is part and parcel of what I've been doing for a long time, is learning, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of my sort of addiction on the inside, was not to trust myself. So I have to kind of let go. So it's a little bit of a a self-expression. All right, that's kind of what I liked. I like the whole idea of being, right? But this week I felt a sense of being, and then I could see myself dropping into this self with something, and then I could see how I was using that self to figure it out, right? And I wasn't going to be able to do.
You weren't. You weren't.
No, I know. I okay, so that's kind of what I felt. I could see
Remember,
where I was trying.
Julie, one thing, remember, everything you recognize and see is not you. Yeah?
Right.
Yes. So, because
So if
the selfing will say it saw four things, and then it will identify as the seer of the four things. And
right,
then
okay,
you miss the selfing by thinking you've seen self, 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 self. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So my anchor is always going back to seeing, feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll leave it at that. I'll practice that. I'll see you. And
That was very nice. Yeah. That's
okay.
a very good. That's a if I'm going to give mantras to people, Julie, I'll leave it at that. Would be my mantra to you.
Okay.
Leave it at
Thank
that. Yeah, that's a good
you.
one. I think. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to think of others for other people here. Yeah. Z.
Thanks, Julie. Wait, Clifford
Don't miss
is
a
trying.
moment. Don't miss a
Clifford
moment.
is trying again.
Go swimming in the lagoon. Nothing. What's happening? I'm sorry.
Clifford's trying again, I think.
Oh, Clifford,
Yeah.
come on, Clifford.
We're pulling for you.
Or did he? Or maybe his hand was just left up.
No, he's trying.
Damn it.
No. Try to type it, maybe.
I know you- Oh yeah, sign language.
Charades.
Yeah, charade.
Crazy. Yeah.
See this one? Put this one down.
Deepak has a hand though.
We'll try to come back to you, Clifford. Yeah. Deepak. Where is my main man, Deepak? I haven't
His
seen
hand
him.
is showing. Is he doing that on purpose? Looks like cousin It from the Addams Family.
What happened?
Deepak's hand is moving around.
Deepak. Keep those hands to yourself, Deepak. Where is he? I can't see him.
I know, it was just his hand and now it's gone.
Oh, all right.
Anybody else want to raise their hand? No hands
can
showing.
Well, great. We've had a nice evening. Anyone else? Clifford? Yeah. Well, what time did we start? 7? Yeah, 7. Well, if there's no one else, anyone have anything else they'd like to say? No? Where are the Bopsy twins? There they are. I'm going to say hello to everybody, and we can take off. That's cool.
Oh, great. Brahmi's got her hand up now.
Oh, Brahmi's fine. Yes, where is Brahmi? Near the Ganges. Oh, there's Deepak. Deepak, they thought you... Where's your hands, Deepak? Show your hands. There's Zoe. Zoe's taking it easy. That's good. Susan. Yeah. All right, where's... Who is it again?
Brahmi.
Brahmi.
Oh, Brahmi, where are you? Oh, there you are. Wow, Brahmi. You look like you're underwater.
I know. Can you hear me though?
You've transformed back into a mermaid.
Paul, I dropped the phone. The phone dropped on the floor while you were talking about the blue book, and now my camera's like this. So it is what it is.
Wow, it's cool.
So this is the question: is that I during the day, the experience of the day, I think about what we hear from you in the satsangs. And I now am wondering if the thinking about the message is kind of fucking me up.
No, it could and it can't. It can and it cannot. See, it's
So
up
I
for
just
grabs. It can be used in one way or another way, basically.
So I'm using it as in the thought is happening, and the thought that's happening seems to be this at the moment, instead of I'm having this thought about the message.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to check.
The thing is, Rami, more importantly, what I want to get across is we are that which is before. Yeah? And therefore, what comes after doesn't define what's before. So just like we were using the example in the program recovery, if someone says, I am an alcoholic, it could be the mental state is using that and getting away with it in a way to reinforce an identification, yes?
Yes.
But the same event is determined by what's before. So let's say the same event, a person goes, I'm an alcoholic, but that statement doesn't reinforce the identification, yeah? So it's not predicated on not saying that or saying it, it's predicated on what's before it, yeah? The meaning it's going to have. See, this is the thing. Let's say you see a saint, yeah, or a saint, or someone who's, well, let's just call it a saint. Yeah. And
Okay.
then you watch and you observe their behavior, and then you make a path out of what they're doing with the hopes that if you did it, it will lead you to where they were led. Yeah.
Yes.
But their behavior isn't how they arrived at where they are, it's an expression of where they are. Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't use it to try to arrive at where they are because they never left, nor did you ever leave. Yeah. You see? Yeah. Do you see it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the idea that something that you're thinking about what was said in satsang is, you know, like someone else said before, awareness is neutral. In a weird way, everything is neutral. Yeah, it's got two poles and it has degrees because it's a dualistic expression. But what's going to tip the scale is what's before. Yeah. Now,
Yes.
if what has been implied after is the new before, then a whole lot of meaning is going to be given to what comes after that, and much different meaning that will be given if the before is before. You know what I mean?
Can you say that again?
Yeah. So we were saying this thing about the I'm an alcoholic. So someone says, well, uh, if I say I'm an alcoholic, does that reinforce the identification? Yes and no. Yeah, it could, but it could not. Yeah, because it's
But what?
not the statement; it's what's before. Yeah. So, so if
Right.
you're
Because
taking
you were
yourself to,
before the alcoholism.
yeah, before everything, us, the awareness, the
Right.
being, let's
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
So if the being
Yeah.
has some say in what comes after, the I am an alcoholic isn't going to succeed in reinforcing a false identity. Yeah.
Mhm.
If that which comes after, which is the identification, is seen to be before, then it's going to use the same statement to reinforce the identity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the before, there's only one before. One's made up, which is the manufacturing of self as the one, and the one is. Yeah. Relying on that which is doesn't take much thought and effort. Constantly having to believe you're before everything as Paul, and then everything I do after is going to reinforce that Paul, is a lot of fucking work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Yeah.
before, it's made up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is about seeing what we're not, and then you're starting from the before. Yeah. And so what you say and what you don't say doesn't matter as much. Yeah. To me,
Yeah.
non-duality allows sloppiness. This doesn't have to be a like non-dual Pharisees where you can't use the word I, me, you, whatever. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
insane shit. You're traveling lighter through all that. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. So in
Yes.
one sense, it could be used to identify, or it may not be used to identify. Yeah, it's all predicated not on saying or not saying I'm an alcoholic, because sometimes not saying it is a reinforcement of you too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what's
Yeah.
before? Where are you? Yeah, are you in the mythical mental after? That's implying it's before, or are you in before, which you always are? That's what gives. That's what's going to affect what comes after. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I mean. I hope it got through,
Yeah.
because this isn't about a rigid code of behavior or morals or what I say or what I don't say and how I say it and this and that. It's not about that.
Right.
It's about really just being clear the horse is before the cart, not
Yeah.
after the cart. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then blue is blue and red is red. It's just I don't know how, I'm hoping these Wednesdays and Saturdays, some of this is leaking into the squares, but this is the message is disarming. It's not a call to arms. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
have
it's
800 moral codes. I did not get a moral code from non-duality. I got a moral code from recovery. Yeah.
yeah,
Non-duality gave me nothing, and then I saw the value of nothing. It's fucking everything. Yeah.
right.
And so its influence. Why would you want to be completely influenced by all the shit that comes after you? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you entertain the possibility, yes, that
Yes.
you as what you are can outshine circumstances and situations? Yeah? A cat tried to get in. Yeah? It's all determined.
Yes, yes,
It's not determined by any tweak of fate. It's a fact. Now, we may be in denial of that fact by being infirm in faith in what we're not, but in fact, it doesn't change the fact. You are before. I think
yeah.
my cat's having a meeting with another cat outside.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God it's
Thanks,
not my
Paul.
cat. What?
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope this is an important one because people ask me this a lot, especially about recovery. Well, isn't it when I say I'm an alcoholic, it's reinforcing that I'm a alcoholic? Well, it can or it cannot. It matters what's
Right,
before it. Yeah, yeah,
right.
it
Yeah,
does. And what a lot of us live, we matter by what comes after. This is a very precarious position. Yeah. If my condition is based on your condition and all these other conditions, that's not that that's not going to be a calm, peaceful condition. It's going to be agitated. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So this whole idea of seeing what you're not just doesn't end there. You find out what you are, and there's a whole lot to find out about what you are. There is. Yeah.
So I just keep that the faith that my head is in the tiger's mouth. I understand, not even understand. I know that there's that freedom that comes from going back to the awareness of being prior,
Yeah.
and that makes me that feels like a lighter existence, and more freedom is there. And
Yeah.
I this action figure hasn't been an alcoholic, but I would say, hi, my name is Brahmi, I'm a thinker.
Yeah.
It's like that seems to be my addiction, is that the mental thought always wants to be believed, and I don't believe it anymore. But it's, I know you say one day you will be able to see through it. It doesn't dissolve, the thoughts don't go away, but you see through, or
Well, really,
you just
it's
have
more
the,
of a shift of interest and attention, tell you the truth.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Instead of stopping at the thought, the attention will continue, you know? And then the thought will be seen in a different ratio. Because when a thought is held as your thought, it pretty much takes up the whole screen, yeah?
right, sure.
When there's a loss in thought, of interest in thought, which is a loss of interest in your thoughts, really, then there's a seeing a whole lot more while the thought is being noticed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
does one.
yeah, if you leave the thoughts and the feelings alone, essentially they'll leave you alone.
Well, in a sense, yeah, in a way, once you try to stop the thoughts with the stop sign of a noun, these are my thoughts, these are my feelings, they get put to use by something other than what you think, yes? So in a weird way, the owning of a thought allows you to be owned by thoughts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a real good deal, to tell you the truth.
No, not at all.
Because you actually experience more being owned by thoughts than being the thinker of them. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. You're in good hands, Brahmi. Yeah. Don't worry. The obsession with the thoughts doesn't change a fucking thing, really. It just seems more irritable and agitated. But the fact is, it's still in the realm of the magic trick. Yeah.
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 And just can you sit back? Can we sit back and just enjoy the magic?
I think you'll more than enjoy it. You'll find a huge amount of comedy in there. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and you may be the brunt of the joke a lot, but it's sort of a
I love
sort of
it.
a joyous event. Yeah, it's hilarious, really. You know, I don't know. You just start laughing a lot because I don't, it's, see, when it stands alone, it can seem very convincing. When the interest and attention disperses and you have a more of a panoramic view, uh, the noticing of thoughts is from a mountain to a molehill in a certain way. Yeah. Almost like where a camera and the aperture can be played with. Yeah. Now, I rather not believe I'm the one that's playing with it. It's a much better position to take that something's doing for me what I can't do for myself. And I can sit back a lot and laugh like crazy because it's hilarious. I find a lot of the time. So, all right, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
And listen, you're in great hands, Rami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest assured, your thinking doesn't make what is not so. It doesn't. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have the power. So, all right. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Brahmi. And there's a couple hands that went back up, and I saw Clifford rejoining. I don't know if Clifford wants to retry.
Let's give Clifford. This is 3 strikes and you're out, Clifford.
You're out.
You better throw a softball. All right, Clifford, go.
You still cannot hear.
Maybe if you take the things out of his ear. Yeah. No.
You're out of there.
Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Give him a call.
You can always text us and stuff. Yeah. Text us.
He's doing some good slapstick.
Yeah.
That's even better.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, yeah, two that you put down went back up. So, Jackie.
Jackie, what happened? You already had one. All right, let's go, Jackie. You're lucky I like you. All right, go ahead. Oh, it's another Jackie.
No, it's Jackie Mickens.
Okay, I was having a problem unmuting myself. Okay, it sounds to me like, and I'm glad you like me and allow me to ask another question.
Don't push your luck.
Like...
Don't push your luck.
Okay, it sounds to me like you kind of just live your life, but don't attach yourself to anything, thoughts or anything, and just chill in the fact that you were it. Whatever happens or doesn't happen.
I don't know what happens, honey. I'm telling you right now, if I got up and walked after this meeting, I walked out, I shouldn't drive any heavy equipment, even a car. Yeah. I'll lose one of my shoes. I don't know where the other one went. And I basically, I'm about a couple of inches away of needing a personal attendant. Yeah. Then it regroups and I can make it through another night. So, but thank God it all gets forgotten quickly. Yeah. I used to say, people want to live an unforgettable life. I love living a very forgettable life. That really works for me.
You are so funny.
So yeah.
Oh my God, you're funny.
Yeah. Well,
I, lo- I love you, Paul. You are too funny.
all right, good. That's good. That's
Thank
a
you.
good. Thank you, Jack. Yeah. If you want to know, you can talk to my girlfriend. She'll tell you. Yeah.
That is too funny.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to know me, ask my kids.
Yeah. She,
I don't have a significant other because I guess he knew who I was.
that's right. Well, yeah. Well, she's very kind
Oh
and
my
loving,
God.
thank God. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Yes. Thank
Oh
you.
God.
Thank you, Jackie. All right. Who else? Who's the next one? Kate. Yeah, you got your
Julie.
hand out with Kate. That's good.
Julie.
There's over
Oh God.
there. All right. Who's Alan?
Julie.
Tell me before you say anything. You're in great shape. Yeah. Alan, you. Yes. All right. Who else?
Julie.
Julie.
With a double dipper.
Which one is, hold on, Julie. Oh, Julie has already spoken?
Yeah. There's a
Sorry,
hand up.
so I just want to say, you said, is it bleeding through? And I want to say, yes, it is, because for the last couple of weeks, the thing that kept me going was blue is blue, red is red. You know, the way that you say it, and that struck me a real chord with me, like that clarity seems to be the biggest thing. You also talked about the mechanical mole that comes up in a hole, and you keep banging it down until you recognize that it's just a mechanical function, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then yesterday came up, somebody else had mentioned straw man or the stick figure. And for some reason, these things to help me because they have no substance. They're just like this structure, whatever.
Yes. They're an activity, honey.
Yeah. Someone said too that because everything's happening and like all these thoughts and things are going through, you don't have to actually, you just let them all come through, whatever, because they're going to change in the next instant anyway. So that helped. But
I
sometimes when
wouldn't go
people
that
say,
way, honey. I wouldn't go that way. I would just see if there's anyone uh, that can let them all go through or not let them all go through. I don't feel, yeah, I don't like to do anything really. So
okay,
I like to see, because that urge to do usually is used to imply a doer. And so I can see an urge to do, but there doesn't need to be a doer involved. So you just see it. Yes. Yeah.
okay.
And then
And then,
you don't, you after, you don't, a forgettable life is just that. It's a forgettable life. The moment goes and then that's gone. I, I stopped putting flagpoles in things a long time ago. Everything just keeps moving. It's sort of like trying to put a flagpole in a river. It just it's pointless. So I just keep going and
Okay.
you know, just be able to see someone and be seen and never get gypped. You know, you're always here without any thought or effort. This whole idea that we got convinced that we were out of the moment and that we should get into the moment, but first we got to go through all the guilt of being out of the moment. I
Because there's
saw,
a,
I see
is
that
there,
it's impossible to be out of a moment. So it's not like I've learned how to get in the moment. I just realized I can't be out of a moment. That's how it works.
okay. I just know that a lot of times my cycle, it's like being around a lot of people who start saying you're wrong. You know, in the spiritual world, there's a lot of confusion. Like there's 5D and manifesting a new reality, and then suddenly you're wrong and you can't figure out why you're wrong. So there's that anchor for me that I have to work at, right? Because I seem to react to all this stuff. But I wanted to say something to you too, because yesterday I felt really despondent about all the different teachings. And then today I was like, oh, well, do I go on the Zoom or not go on the Zoom? And I said, no, go on the Zoom. And today was one of the best speeches for me. And it just keeps showing me that I keep moving forward and I'm okay, right? Keep making those things. But I also wanted to say, because I know you, I think these Zooms are very good because it sort of cuts away all the stuff for you having to go somewhere else or wait for something to happen. But to me, these are beautiful because we show up and we can deepen. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
I'm sort of I like Zoom in its own way. Yeah. Yeah, I can just you don't even I may not even be wearing pants right now. I'm sitting here. You know, I saved half the trouble of getting dressed when I had to go on a live talk. Yeah, it's fantastic. This shirt may not have been washed for 4 days. Who knows? I have no idea. Shave, no shave.
Well,
My
this was this.
hairstylist can't visit. So yeah. No, it has
So
its and I have a fondness for everyone. I have a fondness for you and Clifford and other people. Maybe I wouldn't have if I actually knew you. Maybe this is an upgrade in my social content. I don't know. But I'm feeling a nice fondness for people, and it's been a trip because it just started and it has its little momentum, you know. And I know, like every other river, it always ends in the ocean. But it's been an interesting little ride, yeah. And a lot of
I
people
hope.
here have touched me by their shares and their interest, and I hope I left everything fucking alone, really, and just yeah, that's all. Yeah, so I'm stoked too, hon.
I just think it's simple. And in a lot of my life was when we were growing up, it was like busy. Everybody's busy. We don't want to talk about that. Nobody else has experienced it. Don't worry about it. Is this? So for me, the very, very conversation that you want to have is still fraught with, no, we don't believe in what you say. No, we don't agree with what you say. I don't want to talk to you about that. And then then the phone comes up. So this very simplistic conversation about something that's real is beautiful for me, really beautiful. So the Zoom for me is just, I hope you keep it going. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, well, thank you for that, Chair. Hey, guys, I gotta go soon. My the cat got hurt by something else, so.
Oh, but Clifford just had success. Can't Amelia take care of the cat?
Yeah, Clifford, come on, bring Clifford on.
Success?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, hi, Paul. I'll try and be quick so you can sort your cat out.
It's
But
okay.
it's mainly,
It died, so I forgot about.
It was mainly an observation from the police and thief perspective.
Yeah.
I was speaking to a friend in recovery who's kind of shown an interest in non-duality, and I noticed that I was speaking to him like a bit of a salesman, and it was going nowhere. So I kind of had to move away, and we suddenly started talking about going to concerts, like when I was younger, and he was telling, oh, I've got this video of me at a concert, and I said, yeah, we didn't have phones back in the day. I'd go and watch Steely Dan or The Who, and it was really great because I was really there, which was half true because sometimes I went there and I wasn't really there, if you know what I mean. And then he showed me this video of someone videoing people at a concert who were all videoing the concert. And then there must have been a guy videoing the people videoing at the concert, and then we was watching it on a video, and it was like this constant policeman thief. Now this is the real one. No, this is the real one. This is the better perspective.
That's right.
And then kind of as action figures, we're saying, yeah, so the answer is just go to the concert. And I said, well, that seems like the answer, but I've been to concerts where I've not been at the concert. You know, I've been, wondering what my girlfriend's up to, or, I've been somewhere else. And then we was both hit with this like deathly kind of terror. It was like we was both stunned, and it was really frightening. But immediately followed, we was both on the floor just fucking laughing like we'd never laughed before. It was like, to the action figure, this is terrible news, non-duality. It's absolutely stunningly terrible news. But something else heard it, because we're rolling on the floor. We see the ridiculousness of, because sometimes it feels good when you find the policeman, but he'll quickly change his hat. And we come up with a few occasions where it would actually work or be beneficial. But it was like,
Uh-oh, I'm losing you now.
something else, something truer, and you need to see it. And it's normally followed, the sign for me is the laughter. It was absolutely hilarious when we see that we couldn't get out of this doing the policeman thief thing, although the policeman thief thing will carry on.
Yes.
It's not waiting for that to end. It's seeing it.
Yes.
It was just great fun.
It's seeing it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was slightly different, but from becoming the policeman who sees it. There was a different tone.
Well, exactly. There's just seeing it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's we took a Monty Python little skit and we just made something out of it, and you remember Monty Python?
Yeah.
So they're wearing all these safari hats, and they have the khaki shorts, and they're seemingly in the jungle, and they have like canteens and everything, and they come into this clearing, and they have no food and no water, and they're going, and they're like desperate condition, no food, and then they look at it and they go, "Hey, who's that?" And then the thing opens up, and there's a film crew filming them, and they have water and sandwiches. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, then there's another film crew. And yes, on, and it'll just go on and on and on and on and on. You can't stop one with the other.
No,
It's a slinky. It's got a momentum. It just goes. But you're not that. See, this is what. See, that which we're not. Its most valued aspect is relevance. Relevance. It wants to believe that it's gonna be it that's gonna find the truth, and if not, it's gonna block you from the truth. It wants relevance. Yes, relevance. So it gets relevance by recognizing an aspect of itself as the thief from the policeman. And then it goes on and on and on and on. And then we believe that it has to stop for us to be okay, which makes it relevant once again. It's
Yeah.
mechanical. Yeah.
Very
It's
mechanical.
mechanical. There's no personality that you're not gonna convince something to stop. It just does its thing. Yeah.
It's just its nature.
It's a mechanical thing. So that
Mm.
goes on. So the thief is recognized. There's the policeman. Policeman now becomes a thief to another policeman, and so on and so forth. Yeah, yeah. All right, but there you are, laughing. That's the relief right there. The relief isn't anything ends. It's just you see through it. Yeah, that's the relief. The relief is not from, the relief isn't finally attaining liberation. It's losing interest in the need to be liberated because it's not about fucking you. Yeah?
Mm.
So this is the point. It's different than we think. We think we're going to be super interested. It's really a lack of interest that opens the doors. Yeah.
Mm.
So, all right. So I got to go. Hey,
Okay.
let me say goodbye. Thanks. I'm happy, Clifford, you got a chance. Yeah. I'm happy. Thank you for that share. All right. I'm going to say hello to everybody, and I got to check out the cats. All right. All right. So here we go. We got Mike and Nick. Nice to see you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. I'll see you guys soon, I hope. Kerry, nice to see you. Kaiser, will you work watching everyone tonight? Good job. Judith, I want to make sure you're on the job, you know. We need a backup for the backup. Yeah. There's Karen, nice to see you. Sanda, pleasure once again. Thanks for the dialogue. Susan, Linda, hope you're all right, Linda, there. Yes. I got Fritz, thanks again, as always. Z, my main man. Ah, there she is. Oh, there's Maria. Oh, Maria, the lost devotee in Grass Valley. John K, nice to see you. See you, Maria. I think Amelia's going to call you tonight. Zoe, nice to see you. Jeremy, Deepak. Where are your hands, Deepak? All right, there you go. Michael, we got John K again. Chris in Olympia, Washington. Nice to see you, Chris. We got Jack G in the dock somewhere. Once again, he's camping or whatever he does. We got Katie being held up by her hair. There it is. Nice little pillow at all times. We got Alan. We got Matthew. Nice to see you again, Matthew. Mary, nice to see you. Julie, thanks for the sharing tonight. Joyce, Amelia, Clifford, finally got to say something from Chiang Mai. Let's see, we got Amelia again, the same people. Yariv, nice to see you, Yariv. Joyce, I think I said hello already. Then we got, wait, what's this? Hari, nice to see you, Hari. Yeah, don't go out and buy a gun, please. There we go. Brahmi, Randy, yes. Randy's been quiet for a few months. That's incredibly good news, I think, for Randy. I hope. Jackie, take care of yourself, Jackie. Let's not take ourselves too seriously. Dennis, Brahmi, we got, I don't know who else is here. Some anonymous folks. George from the Void. Hey, thank you for everyone. Thank everyone. Hari, give us a call soon. We'll see you guys later, all right? See you Saturday. And
Thank you, Paul.
don't hesitate to donate. What? Good night. Bye.
Good
Good night,
night.
Paul.
All right, thank
People.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.